Hi and welcome to this newest video. Today we're going to do a how-to video on how to capture your gameplay with a capture card, and then I'll also be recording your face cam on an old phone or whatever external cam you have, and then being able to splice those things together in a program called Shotcut to make your own edited gaming videos without having to buy a ton of editing software, things like that. Shotcut is free. You can use your phone as a camera. The only thing I do use that costs me extra, I would say, is my capture card. But if you play PC games or anything like that, there's different programs you can use to actually capture that. But we're going to use capture card today because that's what I use to make my retro gaming videos. So that's what I'll show you how to do and how to put it all together, like I said, with Shotcut. So you have one nice video with your face up in the corner and your gameplay in the back and everything being all awesome. So give me just a minute and we'll be ready to go. See you in a second. Bye. Okay, so we're back now, and I'm going to do a quick rundown on the type of equipment I'm using and how to use it. So first, I've got my Cloner Alliance brand HDML Cloner Box Pro. Nobody knows what HDML means. I don't know. It's a Chinese cloner box. Okay, it was I don't know, it was a little over $100 when I bought it. I bought it, I don't know, almost 2 years ago maybe. But anyway, I like this one because it had a remote and it lets me switch around between different consoles that are hooked into it at the same time, and it just saves everything under this USB memory stick, so I can just unplug it and stick it into my laptop when it's time to actually edit my videos. So I'm going to actually turn on my, okay, Gowan, my Yobo. Actually, I don't have that plugged in. Never mind. I'm not going to use that today. We're just going to stick with the my Raspberry Pi that's hooked into the Cloner Box Pro. And let's see. We're just going to switch on to some random game just for, let's see, let's go with something. Let's throw a Neo Geo game up on here for now. How about something like, let's go to Metal Slug. Yeah, we'll stick with the first one. Okay, so I get my game up. Everything's through my cloner box. It's going to take a second to get going there. Okay, so let it 1/4. And then what I want to do is I use my remote to actually tell it to start recording or not. But I'm just going to show you real quick. I could, if I had something else plugged into this that was not HDMI, it's got like a VGA input. So if I had something pumped into that, I could turn it on. It's got like AV. So if my Yobo over there with my 151 NES cartridge was plugged in, I could let it play on here as well. Whatever this other weird button is, I don't know. But we're going to go back to HDMI because that's where our Raspberry Pi is plugged into. So once I'm ready to record, I'm just going to click record, and then it'll tell me in the corner, and move this so you can maybe see, it says recording. So I let that go, and once that light goes off, then I know it's recording for sure, and that's when I kind of start talking. A lot of times I'll count for 5 or 10 seconds just to make sure that it has had time for me to, for it to start recording before I start talking and do some intro that doesn't even make it into the video. One of the things that I also recommend, yes, Aurora, hold on, my daughter's bugging me. Yeah, go ahead. Sure, how about it? So Once I get that going, sorry, she totally made me lose my train of thought. So yeah, I let that get going, so I make sure that what I'm saying is getting caught in there. Another thing that I highly recommend you have that I meant to mention in the equipment is a microphone. So a microphone, even though your phone or whatever you're recording on may have a microphone built into it, the microphone lets you get the mic closer to your face. Let's say you didn't want your camera so close to your face because you didn't want that much of a close-up, but your microphone's hooked on there, but it was sounding kind of quiet, so you want the microphone closer to you. Simple enough. You have a microphone. Mine's on a little wire stand here that I can pull it close to myself. You can also buy the cool little clip-on ones that go on your collar. Those work great. They put the microphone right up next to you. Like I said, this thing's recording. I can run around. I can throw bombs that people shoot, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so once I've decided that I'm done with that, I'm going to hit the stop. Let it pop up that it stops recording. It tells me in the corner. I always make sure that that little thing where it says stop recording in the corner, I make sure that goes out before I hit playback on my remote, because I've done it before and it messes up the formatting, like it's not all the way done saving, and then it won't let me read the file. So we're going to switch here. Get this out of my way so it can actually pick up my signal. So on the ClonerBox Pro, you can hit playback and it takes you into this little area here. So I'm going to click film, see, and then say I want to go here, and I hit play, and all goes well. It's going to show me my video. There we are. The little Nazi guy ran away from him. But as you can see, it recorded my gameplay. So let's just go ahead and pause that. Hit the back. There's a little back button on the remote right here, so I'm just going to hit the back button. Okay, and that's how you record with the ClonerBox Pro. And it gives you a little preview there too if you just leave it stand there. And if I hit the back button again, and again and again, it just takes me right back to where my game is playing again. And it doesn't pause, like your game's still running. It's just not on the screen. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop recording for a minute. I'm going to actually do some gameplay with my face cam on, and then when I'm done with those two, I'm going to show how to put this all together on your on the laptop using the program called Shotcut, which is a free video editing software. Okay, so hang tight and I'll be right back with you in a second. So we're back, and now we're getting into our program called Shotcut, and that's where we actually do our video editing. So what we're going to have to do is make sure that our playlists are open, which it is, and that's where we're going to drag and drop stuff. See this over here? It's because I was playing around a second ago and I had a video dropped in here, but I don't have that particular one. That's going to be when I'm doing some editing on my final video of this tutorial. But for now, we're going to open up my folder where I have videos saved, and we'll pull in our gameplay that I recorded, and then I'm going to pull in my face cam. After I do that, I'm going to get this out of my way. You'll see if I click on one of these, we can get it to, it'll pop up in this little preview screen. Playback on Shotcut, not awesome. I've actually just got the volume off on it right now because it gets kind of laggy when you start stacking things on top of each other, but it's okay. This is a free program and the final product looks pretty good. So I'm going to go down here, and like I said, I'm going to sound different. I don't know, maybe I didn't say this already, but I'm going to sound different because I've got my microphone plugged directly into my capture card right now, just while we're doing this editing portion. Got the face cam off. It's just easier for me to just record this straight through the capture card instead of splicing things back together. Alright, so I'm going to insert video track, or I can hit Control I and make my two video tracks. So in this next part, the video that I want to be in the background, I'm going to drop down here into video 1. So that'll be my gameplay video, because I'm going to put my face cam up in the corner. So this lets me overwrite. And I always want to make sure that I run this back. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. I want to run this back over and make sure that this is all the way to the beginning. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but it does. You can also zoom this out. I'm not trying to cut it down to the very second, so we're gonna put that a little zoomed out so I can see my whole recording. Now let's take our face cam and we're gonna drop it up here. So let's click that, get it highlighted. Then I'm gonna drop my face cam right in there. And again, we gotta pull this over and make sure everything's together. I was using this a while back and I was like, why can't I get this right? And it was because I wasn't getting them lined up together. I recorded a little extra onto the end here just to give myself room to cut it off. Let's see. Just to get that thing. And pause right there. You can, once you figure out where you want pieces cut off, go to this right here, and it says split at the playhead. So I split, and now I can take this. If you clicked on there, you could do this whole like remove whatever, or you can just click it and then hit X. Boom, it removes that whole piece. Hold on, let's get there. There we go. Didn't hit X well enough, I guess. So okay, let's again, we're gonna highlight this, and then we're gonna go to here. Let's hide this other screen for a second. Go to this guy, double tap him so he shows up here. Now I'm going to go to my filters. You see this thing up here on the top that looks like a funnel? That's our filters. I'm clicking that, and then I'm going to click this plus. Let me add a video filter. Now once I'm in video filters, I'm going to go down to size and location. So size and position, sorry. And you could type in your numbers if you know your exact size you wanted to make it, but I'm just going to pull it right up here in the corner. Okay, and let's turn this guy back on. He should be in the background. Okay, super. So now I can kind of line this up depending on the game I was playing. The game may have like a scoreboard, so I may not want to be all the way up in the top so you can see my score. Okay, so now let's see what she looks like. Put it back together. Again, I've got the sound turned off. It's kind of laggy and weird anyway. But let's see, I've got my gameplay going. Let's skip ahead a bit. I just want to make sure I'm not blocking. Good, I'm not blocking the little scoreboard in the corner. Perfect. Alright. So I'm going to drop down, click over here. See those little white dots and everything go away. So I've got my little face screen. Or maybe you're doing some other kind of video and you want some kind of clip up in the corner or behind you. This is an easy way to do it. So again, I just dropped my videos in to my playlist, put them down here. The one I wanted to make small, I just made sure it kind of was on the top. That seems to be how it works to me when I've used this. I had on the bottom once and it kept showing up behind the other thing. So so I dropped that video up on the top of the of my timeline, and then I go to back into my filters, and then I went into video filters and then did the size and positioning. I seem to have zoomed myself way out there as I was fumbling about. Okay, so again, that's just a real easy way to do that. And once you've edited this around, you figured out how exactly you want your video to be, then you can just go ahead and export the video. So if you just click save, it's just going to save it as a draft. Which is fine if you're still working on the project, but you can't take that save file and just upload it into YouTube. It's not going to work out. So what I got to do next is I actually go to export, and then it has a bunch of presets here, and I usually make these for YouTube, so I just go down until I find the pre-made one for YouTube. There we go, boom, and it will automatically give me the settings I need for YouTube and not some other weird settings. And then after that, I'm going to click export file right here, and then figure out where I want to put it. Let's put it in where'd my YouTube folder go? It's alright, we'll find it here. Let's go to desktop. Watching somebody else use a computer to me is like watching somebody else cook. You're like, why did you click it that way? Don't you know any shortcuts or whatever is bothering you? And then we'll just call it sample edit. And then we'll save it as a sample edit. So now it's going to tell me this little thing over here. This takes a long time. It can take, you know, depending on, it really depends on how the size of your video is. A lot of times I'll do this right before I go to bed or before I leave the house for going out for lunch or whatever, and let this thing just sit there and simmer until it's 100% exported. And then you can take that exported video and upload it into YouTube or onto Facebook or whatever your goal for your media is. And there's like a million different things you can do in this program, Shotcut. There's lots of YouTube master classes out there on it. I just want to show you guys how to do a very basic putting your face in the corner of your video, and then you can use your two your two videos together into one. I just use my phone to do my face cam. You can do whatever you want, and then once you pull that into your folder and you saved it, then just pull your two things over into that playlist we talked about earlier, and drop them down into your tracks that you make by clicking right here. And that's how we inserted our video tracks, or just hit Control I for Control Insert. You can also do audio tracks, all kinds of cool stuff. But this is how I do it. It's super simple. The program Shotcut is free. I just had to download it onto this jankety old laptop that I kind of factory reset and gave a new life. Hopefully this video is helpful, and have a great day. Bye.